I'm John Proxy, welcome to the Proximity. This is the Night Journey. Only one who has passed through it will know what it means. There will be no words for it. St. John of the Cross. Right, so, before I even start this game, this is the next step of my Itch.iOdyssey, I'm going in with a little bit of skepticism. For several reasons. So this is an art game. It actually bills itself as one of the first experimental art games ever created. Let me say that again. One of the first ever art games ever created. This was... human understanding is not capable of understanding it, nor experience of describing it. And you've got to admit, that's quite a statement. I decided to look up on Wikipedia experimental art games. And there were loads. No, you weren't. You were definitely not one of the first. You're one of them. But it's slammed back in the middle of the pack. The other thing that made me slightly skeptical of this, and I know I'm going in with baggage now, is that it's made by the same organisation as Walden, and I hated Walden. It kind of feels like somebody's gone into the game space, gone, I'm going to make an art project, and I'm going to blow some minds. But they haven't really researched other games to see if they've done a thing. I'm going in with this, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. If it's weird and it's interpretive, it's already going to be better than Walden. That's quite a statement to make. I have a little bit of a problem with the idea of art games as well. So I looked them up, and yeah, I know there's a lot to say before I even start the game, but and they've got an award ceremony for the best art games, and one of them was Gris, and I've heard of Gris. Wonderful example, little platformer that's about depression or something. I've not played it, but I get you can look at the screenshots, you can look at videos of people playing it, and you go okay, I can see what you're doing. You're using gameplay to express feelings in an artistic way. And you're great. That's a great example. What's another example? Flow. Flow's a game I've never played, but it's you going around, let's use my mouse, with flowers, and you make a sort of stream in the air with flowers. And I know that game because it's one of the games somebody took to a famous American film critic, because he said games aren't art, and they're look at this art game, and he wasn't impressed. And I'm not surprised he wasn't impressed, because I hate the idea of going, games can be art, here's this art game. Whereas, from my perspective, all games are art. There's plenty of art games. Disco Elysium's an art game. Pathologic is an art game. In fact, yeah. You know what I mean? Anyway. It just feels like somebody's I'm going to make a game and it's going to be art. And cool, but that's all games, mate. But if you want to be weird and experimental, awesome. I have nothing against that. I'm just, the phrase, one of the first experimental art games ever created, in a game released in the 2010s. I think it was 2016 it came out. It's I don't believe you. I don't think it was one of the first experimental art games. Anyway, with that preamble out of the way, I'll try and give this game a little bit of extra time because I decided to do a weird preamble. Let's jump in. I don't seem to have any control yet. My worry is the thing about these art games. Bear in mind, I played a game called Dujana. That's an art game. You know what? This is already better than I thought it was going to be. This is neat. I just played two art games, didn't I? I played Dujana and I played The Space Between. They're definitely art games. Even if you discount something like Disco Elysium or Pathologic, which you shouldn't, because they're definitely art games, Like, is there a rule that says that art games have to be slow and black and white? Like, press and hold the A button to reflect. Okay, that's the thing I've done. Press the left stick gently. No, I'm pressing it violently! You know what? Gently does do fuck all. I have to hold it fully and then it goes slowly. By the way, I may be... This is actually fine. I kind of like this so far. Don't mistake my, like, talking and my sort of cynicism for, like, unacceptance. This is already better than Walden. I like that I can press the reflect button at any time. No, I'm done with reflecting. I'm going to go to a mountain. This was a gig as well, by the way. What's in this that's a gig's worth? I was holding it strongly. People whispering in my ears. So it successfully created a very dreamlike quality. I like that. The whispering in the ears. I mean, I can't make out what it's saying. So it could mean anything. Obviously I can reflect, and it makes that noise. It's a dog. That a dog? It is. Is that what my reflect button does? It tells me what things are. Farewell, dog. So I saw some birds in the tree. Apparently I saw a bus earlier. So one of the things, walking so slow, turning so slowly, it's, you go, oh, I'm halfway there now, I can't be bothered to, like, I'm not going to turn back, because the act of even looking left just takes so long. Actually, I'm really tempted to look up when the Void was made. I shouldn't pause right now, but I'm really curious. I hate to be so incredulous about an art game. Because I genuinely do think games are capable of, like, so much. But, like, I think and I get it, like, I didn't know about Pathologic until somebody made a 2-hour video about it. Like, I'd heard of it, but I wouldn't have necessarily put it on this pedestal, so it doesn't means not necessarily everyone's going to know about it, but they've got a list of art games, and like in awards and stuff, and if they don't have the most obvious art games on them, what authority do they have? Like, maybe they want to ask somebody about the art games, and then they can research the art. You know what I mean? Not to mention, there's a wealth of art games on Itch.io. Itch.io. It's the same feeling as, you know, award shows, movie awards, and they go like, oh, what's the best film? And they go like, oh, it's Marvel's Batman, and you're like, is it though? Like, have you looked at all the films? Because, like, more than one country releases films, and you barely looked at the ones that weren't, you know, from America. Now they're getting a little bit better, but and it's that kind of energy where you're like, at least those big movie ones, they have a vested interest in going, wow, we want people to watch these award shows, don't they? Sorry, I'm squeaking. I might have to genuinely pause and get my asthma pump. So one of the things this effect does, because of it makes everything look a little bit more real, because there's less detail. Like, pixel art has that effect as well, and old games. The higher the pixel count, the more I can, like, until you get realistic, super realistic, I can't tell. Yeah, like, the more I know it's a computer game, and, like, you can sort of tell that's polygonal. But, like, the effect on the trees, like, you can tell there is not enough detail in the rocks and stuff like that. But, like, it helps. I don't know if that's what it's for. Right, I think I'm currently falling. I can see on my screen it's by Bill Viola. But, like, it's an award-winning game thing. The people who give the awards are associated with them. So that's kind of weird. Okay, I'm about 3 years old now, I can remember. It's something I actually could make out. So this story, in this ear, so I'll turn that up right up because it's bad on the white, is somebody like having a bad Christmas or birthday present as a child, explaining that story. 1, 2. Okay, I thought I didn't have a voice then. Okay, so I'm naturally reflecting when I walk forwards now. So you might be thinking, John, this looks a lot better than like some of those, at least one of those museum games, one of them that you quit after it broke. I'm being harsher on this because this is made by more professional people. Like when you're one person making an art game on Unity, I'm going to give you some leeway. I think that's fair, right? Like it's one thing for somebody to have a vision, do an artistic thing and try and make it with the best tools they have. It's quite another for somebody to declare that they're the first experimental art game. And before I'll do my, I'll definitely check before I do my impressions. I'm outside again. I've achieved a tree. And oh, it wasn't a bus, it was a shack. These were the things I reflected on, by the way. And dog. And I don't know what the other thing after the dog was. Oh, fair enough. A lake. Or did I just miss the lake? So I have the Night Journey opened up on a Google page to my right, just so I can remember the name of the game and stuff. And there's a trailer that's 10 minutes long. Yeah, I can turn, but no, I'm at a lake. Do I jump off? Again, I'm somewhat discouraged from turning around because of the speed it takes to do so. I'll put you on a direction though. I think I'm falling right now. Yes, I am. There's a tree. Let us. Oh, I found some water. Might be able to hear birds. That's from outside. There's a blinking light. Let's go in that direction. That's probably the sky and the tree and the particular angle, but still. Swimming, yes. So I probably today now. So I have like an intro bit, right? And I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have. Is that a shark? Maybe I shouldn't front load the video with that. But I keep referencing it, so. Fish, 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 fish. What does it mean? When do you think I'm going to unlock fast travel? If I reflect enough, improve my travel speed. So as a joke, I fully understand the concept of pacing something so you really take it in. Like this, speaking of the space between, I would argue this is better paced than that, because there is still constant movement, even if it's toward an unknown goal. Still swimming in computer games, eh? Next it'll be making me do an escort quest. So I should have probably been holding down the reflect button for longer. I love that there's a reflect button. You know, and I'm not a mirror. And another shark. I can't walk while this is going on, by the way. I feel like they're walking faster than I am. This where we started? the square down there. Going to investigate it. Gonna fly over there. I also love that this is the fast. Like, I can go slower. Alright, the voices do repeat as well. Maybe I should do the rest of the video like this as well. It might add to the mood. It will sound a bit less cynical if I talk like this constantly. Though I'm worried that you can't actually hear what I'm saying. I'm not as close to the microphone as I could be. I do wonder what that object is. I'm going to try and lean closer. Is this turning into an ASMR thing? I'm not really sure what ASMR is. Like, I know it's people just whispering and it makes you tinkle or some shit. Like, I'm not really sure. Like, it's one of those things that you see, but you don't really comprehend. Possibly like an art game. But, like, I understand that art games have meaning, probably. Like, even if the meaning is that it doesn't have meaning, that's still an inherent meaning. I know that sounds contradictory, but, like, you know, art be like that sometimes. But ASMR, I'm like, I get it, people watch it because it makes them tingle or some shit. But, like, I still don't understand why. If that, like, is that really enough? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I have no idea. I might have to boost the sound. Sorry. Building. The build. I'll talk normally. Whatever this is, it's not letting me reflect about it. Oh, there we go. Oh, it became ruins. That was neat. Did it? Or was it just going invisible? I'm not really sure. The moon, the ultimate target. Where's the boost button? I'll make it go dong. I think I'm flying right now. I might be able to get to the moon. You can buy a version of this for like $50 as well, the physical copy. Right. Oh, I see, I stopped moving, so I fell. Moon. M-O-O-N, that spells moon. So I'm trying to do the Airwolf theme tune because it's like flying through the sky. I couldn't do that key change. And I can't remember the Quantum Leap theme tune. So there is something to be said about being left alone with all your thoughts, right? A night journey, reflecting on things. But like, I'm not going to reflect on the same things as this guy is. I hit the edge of the world. Like I've not walked hand in hand into the sea with a lady, or by myself, for that matter. So that's kind of meaningless to me. Some bison? Speaking of bison, I'm gonna let you go. Like, I don't know if this even has an ending. It might do. Oh, auto-saved at the ocean. Now I'm in the forest. Right. Let's see what the next game is. Right, I'm gonna do some impressions, but I don't have anywhere to draw. Is this the real world? I don't know. How do I draw? Can I draw in the real world? What happens if I go in this big hole? I don't want to leave art school. I'm supposed to be talking about bloody game. I don't even know what game I'm supposed to be talking about. That's kind of cool that it gives you this to explore. But obviously I'm going to have to quit out and start the game again if I want to continue giving impressions. Right, I've decided to start art school again because I need to talk about Piku Niku. We're going to have to skip through this. I don't know why I'm showing you all this. I might cut through it. Clearly I haven't because you can hear me saying this. But let's actually skip ahead though. Right, I said Piku Niku, didn't I? I've changed my mind and decided this is now the impressions video for the night journey. For several reasons. One, I have the colour black, and that's a colour I need to convey the night journey. Because I'm just gonna... Well, I'm afraid of the night journey. So what do I feel about the night journey? Okay, hang on. First of all, let's assume that you didn't just watch the video. So I was very worried that it was going to be Walden. It wasn't Walden. It deserved more credit than Walden, because Walden was bloody awful, and I'm never going to forget how bad Walden is. This is going to look like bubble writing, which is not going to really convey how I feel about the night journey. But we should probably look for some objects to help me talk about the things I want to talk about. The night. Right, so I thought it was good. One of the reasons I decided to faff at the beginning of this was I thought I was talking about something else and I ended the game. But why I went, oh, you know what, I'll make this about the night journey rather than Piku Niku. Because I think the night journey sort of contrasts quite well with this game. I went into the night journey with one thing that I read in mind, which was, this is one of the first ever experimental computer games. And I was like, I don't think that's true. And I checked on Wikipedia, and it wasn't true. Like, there is games like from literally a decade before that were experimental art games. This I'm playing is an experimental art game. And the worry I had was, oh, so this is a professional artist who's gone into a gaming space and gone, I'm going to bring art here, where art has not been before. And he's like, what's all this about? Not art. Are you going to check to see if there's art there? No, I'm just going to assume that there isn't any art. And there clearly is. And that rubbed me the wrong way. But, that being said, I don't think the game's without value. I thought it was actually quite good. The whole kind of, you're alone with your thoughts, and here's some random thoughts. I mean, they weren't my thoughts, but I guess it's fine. Yeah, the way it decided to convey it was interesting. The kind of the slowness felt purposeful. The way the vignettes went on top was all. How do I spell journey? My word. Had a kind of dreamlike quality to it. Journey. I know that's right because I can see it on the screen. It doesn't matter. If it's spelled wrong, that's my artistic prerogative to spell it wrong. Right? Right, cool. That's all I needed to do. Then I can convert it black. And we might want to look for some things while we're here. And I'm afraid of the night journey. Clearly I am. These are, of course, my impressions, but I can't be bothered to write the word impressions. So, that is a thing I can use right there. Maybe that will help me out. Cool, I've got the colour blue now. Maybe we can write the word impressions in blue. So yes, I said, because turning was so slow, it just encourages you not to turn. But, I don't know if the game takes account of psychology, or if it's just supposed to assume that you'll get it on its own terms. And again, somebody who would actually know about computer games and psychology might be able to use that to their advantage. I wonder if they did or not. I want an experimental. I love the idea of experimental art games, but I feel like they need to know about games to use that space to talk inside. This is why something like Undertale works so well, because it uses the genre to its advantage. That's a game pretending to be less advanced than it actually is. It uses pixel graphics, but it clearly extends off the grid, and it's kind of clever the way it does that. Whereas this was just no, I'm going to reinvent the wheel, and it did. It did some interesting. It had ideas, and you know what? I think it even possibly succeeded in what it was attempting to do. It's just that it's not one of the first experimental art games, and all games are art games, right? But not all of them are experimental. Fair enough. I'll give it that. See, what I like about art school is by forcing me to only have one tool and one colour, it's made this picture more interesting than it would have been had I not. I would have just filled in black. Now I have the colour white. I can't even erase right now. I've hit a star. This is what Walden should have been as well. I don't want to talk too much about Walden because, oh my word, but Walden wanted to tell me about transcendentalism by making me play the complete opposite of what transcendentalists would have liked. It was oh, you're in a forest. And it's I'm not in a forest, I'm playing a computer game. Anyway, Night Journey was considerably better than Walden. Let's not actually talk about Walden. I feel like I possibly should just hand this in at some point, but I am collecting swatches, and I only got 95% of the stuff last time, I think. I think that's why it said I hadn't finished, because I hadn't had all the swatches. So I'm kind of using this opportunity to look look around while there's less stuff to look for. But yes, and I thought I'd put all this faff in this episode and not like Piku Niku, which is actually the one I'm supposed to be doing right now. Which is why I said it at the start of the video. I don't know if anyone's ever going to watch this video. I think this is arguably the least likely somebody's going to watch. So like, I'm sort of being experimental by having this kind of meandering thought process in this video. And I think that's perfectly valid as an artistic statement. Like, arguably all the videos I'm putting out are because they're not just game footage, I'm transforming it, right, by talking over it. And maybe I'm doing something on purpose, maybe I'm not. You know, some people stay in character, I'm arguably playing character. Are these not artistic pieces? Do they not count because they're lowbrow? It's kind of a pet peeve of mine that people don't think lowbrow stuff doesn't count. Like wrestling. Wrestling is art, but like a wrestling match is never going to win an art award, is it? And that is how I feel about the Night Journey. I genuinely, that's not even a joke. It is anti-wrestling. It feels it's better than wrestling, and you're not better than wrestling, Night Journey. You're okay. You're pretty okay. I don't know if it actually thinks that. How do I spell Journey? It doesn't matter how I spell Journey. I feel like there's a missing letter. We've got quite a lot of swatches though. It's kind of nice seeing this place again. Like with all the stuff I had before. We've got other chances to find the rest of the swatches. But I can see one right there, so I may as well grab it. That one knows, oh, I don't think it is. The eraser. Cool. Oh, there's still quite a lot up there I needed to do. Let's see. That is a bad see. Right, that was The Night Journey, an experimental video game by Build Viola, Game Innovation Lab. Our next game, which might actually be a game this time, is Sleepaway. Counselors protect their wards from the nightmare monsters in this game. Let's have a closer look, shall we? Oh, this might not be a playable game. It might be like a pen and paper RPG, kind of looks like it. Ah. Okay, hang on. Last time I got one of these, I downloaded it and had a look. I guess I should do that. It's making the video longer than I wanted it to be, but never mind. Right, so this is Sleepaway, the PDF. We're just going to have a quick look at it. I think the next thing isn't a game as well, so we're at least getting through the list quite quickly at this point. How to play it? We're just looking at the pictures. You play as a counsellor. Ooh, Lindworm, I've heard of that. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to really fully look at this. It doesn't have as many pictures. There's a fly, I don't like flies. There's some pronouns you can have. Stars. Lindworm. Okay, this is probably really nice, but unfortunately I'm by myself. I can't really have a look at this. I've got a friend that makes pen and paper RPGs. I'm pretty sure he has this entire collection as well. If not, I can ask him about it. Anyway, let's have a look at the next thing. Fortunately, it's quite difficult to glean. In fact, let's have a quick look at the back of the page. So yes, this is their page, J Dragon. And have a look at Sleepaway quickly. There we go. I'm just having a quick look at the pages. That's all. But yes. Gives us long, hazy days, chilled summer nights, kids screaming and chasing fireflies, crackling campfires, and a gaunt, cruel monstrosity forever hiding just out of sight, always asking, what do you do next? It's available at Indie Press Revolution, apparently. Right. So the next thing on the list is Canary Pack 8-bit top-down. We're going to have just a quick look at this as well. So this is an art asset pack, which makes it a lot easier to look at because we can just go, oh, look at this. Yeah, could come in handy. I'm making a game. It's not a top-down game, but you can get techniques and inspiration from things like this. Like, you know, that might come in handy. And they were generous enough to essentially give it away for free. And it imports straight into Game Maker Studio. It's very nice of them. At the very least, use it for that. I have Game Maker Studio. That's featuring Johan Vinay. Got heroes, enemies, items, music, tile set, sound effects. What's our next game? This video's gone on for a while. I've gone 20 minutes over time. Conversation on an edge of a cliff, far from noise. Have a look. Oh, they made Hot Date. You see, we know these people. You're balanced on the edge of a cliff in an old rusty car. The sun is setting behind the horizon. The night will soon fall. No immediate means of escape. Perhaps all that's left is to attempt to feel some connection with the world, and at the end of it. Is this not an art game? Like, right here, am I not looking at an art game? Like, just because it has a narrative. Like, do art games have to be all esoteric and you know, weird? Because, like, arguably this is as well, like, a bit, like, does it have to be unpalatable? I'm not saying it's unpalatable, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I get it, you want to push the medium, right? And I feel like people have pushed the mediums and you're just sort of ignoring some of that. Anyway, let's jump quickly back into the game. So, yeah, I'm going to say my goodbyes. We're going to have one last jaunt as I say goodbye. I've been John Proxy. This is the night journey, the next step, or the last step in my Itch.iOdyssey. That's the edge of the map, John. You can't go in that direction. You have to turn. You have to turn a new way. How far gone is this edge? It's so far gone. It's all edge. There's nothing left but edge. Coming over there. Right. Well, maybe one day I'll explore. Thank you for watching.